my birthday. I just turned 43, I guess. Cool. Oh, actually, it's not cool. I don't want to be here. I wish instead harassed me and messed with me for all these years. I wish somebody would have just put a bullet in my goddamn head. Oh, oh. Good morning. I'm betting it's warm in the building.
Warmer than down here, that's for sure.
Oh. All right, sold. I'm going in. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I blame all 80s. No, ma'am, I'm about to. There's a few people waiting there. And that lady Kim is like super sweet every morning. And that Mel lady's usually super sweet too. I didn't bother to check which one is there at the moment, but I figured I'll just be patient. Maybe I should have looked first. All I hear is machines. I have enough to coffee.
Huh?
Name?
Randy.
Randy? I don't think you can have that name.
My granddaddy named me so.
That's right. I got a friend of mine, her name is Bailey Beers. Not to myself, but that's the name for an alcoholic.
Yeah, right. That's why I always love doing yeah.
Oh.
I know it's cold, huh? I was just telling Ken that I have to start wearing my big jacket to work. When you
I did my jacket stormy. No. Alright. didn't know the smooth make you be blind.
Right. Good morning, Sam. I would like a cinnamon rosé grande. And whatever.
You might be reading my mind at the moment. You're very good at that. I met people out there.
I'm like a couple years older.
But there's somebody here. Emily Bates typed if you heard any news about that survey from Kaiser. The most recent that I was able to hear was that she was in hold on a second. Vancouver. And thank you for reminding me. I'll make another posting up today. I guess there's like 3 people here at least who know where she's at there in Vancouver. Travis said that he'd try to get a hold of her. Thank you, Miss Kim. It's perfect.
Perfect.
Either that or I'm just imagining it tastes perfect because whenever I breathed in last night, it froze.
Oh.
My mouth tastes like mothballs.
Uh-oh.
That didn't right. Oh. It looks like one of my YouTube viewers has been paying attention to the people that go missing on my channel. Nice to know. Usually they share stuff. Yeah, Janessa Ray Funkhauser. I don't know a whole lot about her. I've never met her. I'm assuming since you remember the name, you've either been paying attention or you're a friend first. Most of what I know about her is she kind of grew up here in Tillamook. Her family still lives here in Tillamook.
and life happens. I know that she wanted or her mom wanted her to call, even though they're not getting along too good, just so her mom knows she's not dead. Pretty standard procedure for missing people, actually. Not sure how many of you paid attention to when Natalie disappeared, but what did I scream? Call your mom. Always call your mom. You know the easiest way to not get arrested over stupid stuff as a street person? It's not don't do stupid stuff. Everybody's gonna do stupid stuff. It's calling your mom. If you call her your mom and you check in with her, she doesn't make a missing persons report, which means the cops don't come mess with you. If the cops don't come mess with you, they don't find your switchblade. They don't find your 4 grams of cocaine or whatever it happens to be that you're gonna get hemmed up for. All because you didn't call your mom. Lucky for me, I don't have a mom who cares. If I don't call her for 6 years, it's not gonna be any sweat off of her back. Now, Janessa Ray Funkhauser, her mom actually cares enough to put up posters and to go to Portland looking for her. The last I was aware of, as far as people who actually seen her, is Travis and Gabby. And they both know Janessa. And I believe Stormy knows Janessa too. So it's a good question for the day, actually, Miss Bates. I probably wouldn't be able to tell Janessa Ray Funkhauser from anybody else if I was in Portland or Burnside or what was the other one? Vancouver. Of course, some of you might know I've been finding missing people since 2012. My first missing person was actually my little sister Tara. After a domestic abuse situation with her husband, she disappeared for 2 weeks. Didn't tell anybody where she was going, and a lot of people were freaking out. I should probably go back and look through the poster. I might still have it on my phone. It might be on my other phone too. Alright, looks like I made one a month ago. I should have one on August 16th as well.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Well, it says she's 25 years old. Like I said, I don't know her. One of the travelers came to Portland and said that this lady in Tillamook is posted up posters all over Apparently she's not in for
Right?
Yeah, you're right. I haven't posted up about Janessa Ray Funkhauser in probably a month now. So I'll probably make one about her too shortly. We've all had family go missing. It definitely is a freaky thing to happen. The first half a dozen times or so, I was lucky. Like with my little sister, she ended up being safe. And Sarah Rubiolo ended up being safe. And Hannah Pendergrast was actually safer on the run than she was at home. And Natalie was the first person real close to me that ended up dead.
You do, but you still have to put the report yourself. Over there upstairs. Or anything that says, like something that says, you have to go there. So if you have the app, go on there and it will tell you what to do, like 5 hours. Then you can go and click whatever the amount of report that you know.
Yeah, once you've made like 6 purchases on a Starbucks card, as long as it's registered, it's free.
It's free?
The refills will be after you've made 5 purchases on a registered Starbucks card.
What refills? What do you mean?
Oh, you don't get refills?
Refills for what?
Coffee?
I don't, I buy food, but it's rarely that I finish it. But I knew that this one lady, and she had a really high-paying job, so I don't know why she did this. She used to keep or bring her own cup and go every morning and ask for a refill. And then you remember when
all the coffee stuff was on the other side?
Yeah. And then she would decorate it.
Yeah, I remember a manly black coffee when they had it over there. That way I could maintain my virility. But then as soon as they'd give me my black coffee, I'd go over to the little foo-foo bar and foo-foo it up myself.
I drank black coffee for years.
Really? That's racist. Alright, I'm full of fine brown.
It's like this water, I probably would drink it, I just sold it.
Well, it makes you look like you're professional, customer like.
It's crazy how spending coffee is.
Alright.
I'm waiting for coffee. Oh my god.
Well, at least you talk to me like I'm a person. I'll take that. I gotta remember it's too early in the morning for making jokes at you, but I'll bring a couple by closer to noon. Alright, so those of you who have seen my missing persons post, you know that I try to make nice ones, but I also make ones where I curse. I yell, I scream, I hoot, I holler, and I shout. And I say things like, call your mom. Now, one thing a lot of y'all don't understand is, alright, when I make my videos about autism, I try to explain to you that not everybody who's autistic is retarded. Autism and retardation are not synonymous. Most of the time, if you've got an autistic kid in your class who's being disruptive and he's high functioning, he's bored. It's very difficult to pay attention in class when you're bored. And chances are, if you have high functioning autism, you are, if not the smartest kid in your class, possibly even the smartest kid in your school, you're at least one of the smartest. Now, for a lot of us, we have connection issues. I don't mean internet connection issues. I mean, people don't get us, they don't understand us, and they tell us it's our fault. Well, it's not our fault, it's a neurotypical problem. The problem is that neurotypicals are taught that people who are different are dumb or broken. When I try to explain to people that having Asperger's isn't the same as having crossed wires. A lot of the way that we try to explain it is that, let me make sure I word this right, it's too early in the morning. All right, so you've got a Ford F-150, right? This is your farming truck. And then you got a Bugatti, this is your racing car. Well, most of y'all are Ford F-150s. It's not that we have our wires crossed, it's that our wiring is different. You're not going to be able to take a wiring harness from a Ford F-150 and put it in a Bugatti. It's not going to fit. You're not going to be able to take a wiring harness out of a Bugatti and put it in a Ford F-150. It's not going to fit. The point here is we're all different. Now, those of us who are autistic, those of us who are neurodivergent, neurally different, we have to make space for all of you. But you don't make space for us. For a lot of us, we have parents that just want normal kids. And they'll beat us into being normal if that's what it takes. And when they realize that doesn't work, then they drug us into being normal. And when that doesn't work, well, usually they give up. For a lot of our parents, it's just pushing us and pushing us and pushing us into a corner. There's nothing we can do. We can't change people's opinions and change their minds except by being who we are and hoping that people accept it. And people aren't very accepting of different. One of the things about being neurodivergent is that I have to look at things from my point of view and from my level of wiring harness, so to speak. But wired different isn't the same as having crossed wires. Thank you, Kim. And that's what I've been trying to get across to people since I was about, 14 or 15. Oh, he's got a new song on here. This is Shine Bright. Velociraptor. Anyway, I got my coffee, I got my refill, I got to see Miss Candy this morning, which always rocks. I think between her, Marie, and Cynthia, I am totally stocked up on people that I love to visit at the deli. Heck, I almost like going over to the deli more than coming over to the Starbucks. It's not that they're a cooler class of people or anything, it's just sometimes the folks at the Starbucks end up with a big line and it stays there. You can actually catch a break over at the deli sometimes. I think I'm actually going to go out to my car. I was planning on sticking around and getting warmer. Hi! I just wanted to say thank you for coming in today. And I'm jealous of you. You get to work with them. I said, and I'm jealous of you. You get to work with them. Well, I won't tell them you said that. Alright, I'm not going that way.
Morning.
Morning. Oh my way, love. Oh my way, love. Oh my way, love. I used to have a dog named Wayla. I don't know why I sing that still. I don't have a dog anymore. Although my last dog was a Great Dane Saint Bernard named Desiree. She ended up with a cancerous lump in her throat the size of a goose. Oh, great. Good morning. Oh, well, on the bright side, one of my viewers this morning reminded me there's still a lady from here missing named Miss Ray Funkhauser, and I still haven't heard any word on if they found her or not. Hopefully I see Travis and Gabby today so I can ask them.
Who was the guy that they found in front of Freddy's pretty much dead? That they worked on for like 45 minutes.
When was it?
A couple days ago.
I'm not sure.
He had no shoes on. He was behind the bottle return. You know where that is?
I do.
Yeah.
I haven't been allowed at Fred Meyer's for over 6 months, but I know the area.
I wonder, yeah, I don't know.
It's not a local though, or you just didn't see who it was?
I have no idea. I never got the name. I guess they worked on it for like 45 minutes. Yeah.
Some of the EMTs here are pretty cool. A couple of the firemen are pretty Johnny on the spot, like I've noticed, but the cops are fucking useless.
Yeah, well, someone just killed Kephart, and nobody's getting in trouble for it.
Somebody just what?
Killed Kephart. Jack Kephart. Yeah, so much. No one even tried to save him. That all the blood went to his face and it's bruised. They can't even have an open casket, that's what I heard. And the cops didn't even look into it.
Fucking bastards.
That's a little weird to me.
It's not weird to me, it's fucking cops today. It used to be they only did that shit to the homeless, now they do it to anybody who's poor.
Yeah, well, wouldn't you think the cops, like, they're assholes, they would want to arrest somebody?
Yeah. You think that they would want to get rid of child molesters and perverts out here on the streets? They're not teaching their nasty cock beaters themselves too. They don't. I mean, that young lady, apparently there's 3 young ladies that were raped by that, what's his name? Eli Friend. There's like 3 different women who claim they were raped by him. They still have to see him walking around every day. He was given less than 6 months in jail. Like if you've got multiple victims, you spend less than 6 months in jail. You're not the one who's fucked in the head. The court system is. So one of the victims, I seen her at the church, and it occurs to me that every time she goes to church to get something to eat, she has to check to make sure he's there. Or check to make sure that he's not there first. Otherwise, she doesn't get to go eat.
I think I know who you're talking about. That really skinny, scrawny kid.
He's got a little dog named Crimson. Well, I guess it's not a little dog. It looks like a German Shepherd, just small and not quite colored enough.
But yeah. The cops aren't likely to investigate any real crimes. They're out trying to hold people over for retarded shit so that you get billing acceptability. And they're trying to hem up anybody on the street they're allowed to because it's good money. Unfortunately for them, because of this COVID thing, they're restricted
Well, they're
on
looking
what
for
they're allowed
certain
to.
kind of people.
Roll-throughs, because they make them the most money. Mentally ill people, I mean. If they can call you mentally ill, they can roll you through because nobody's going to believe you, nobody's going to listen, nobody's going to care. I see a lot of services out here for drug addicts. Unfortunately, none of those services are doing what it is that, according to the state of Oregon, they're supposed to do. So we got drug addicts who are going back to the same place month after month after month, and all they're doing is getting fucking therapy and sometimes food stamps.
Most people that I know that do drugs do it to like stay warm and be able to like they don't heavily do it. It's hard being homeless. Like you get judged on a different level. And like Safeway, I got out of the hospital with my face swole up. My friend was supposed to pick me up in the morning, and she didn't. She fell back asleep. I got kicked out of Safeway because I made the manager uncomfortable. I still supposedly can't go in there just because my face was swollen, and I sat right there for 2 hours. I can't go in there because it made the manager uncomfortable. That is fucking insane. I didn't get caught stealing. I didn't get caught. None of that. Because I made her uncomfortable. Because my face was swollen. Well, okay, lady, I just got out of the hospital. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's a similar situation for me. Well, more than one place, because I'm a dude, I'm more likely to encounter it. But it doesn't mean that it's just easy to deal with it. I mean, everything that a man has to deal with out here, so does the woman. Just when it comes to the physical abuse, women don't get it as much. But then there's also the fact, like Boulder, Colorado was the first place I ever lived where women ended up homeless and had to start a drug addiction or start a drug habit as soon as they got homeless because it was the only way to stay conscious. You won't get rent. The last thing somebody wants is get mounted up on fucking 2, 3 o'clock in the morning with a sleeping bag, and then you're trapped under there and you can't get loose. Fucking scary. I probably shouldn't have brought that up this time of the morning. I've been out here basically since I turned 18, though. Not here in Tillamook, thank goodness. The cops here are a lot nicer about bullshit people than they are in
They are
places like
now.
Denver.
They used to not be. They used to be very, very mean and unfair and crooked. I don't know how much it is now, but
They're nicer about it.
I mean, like they would fib to be able to cut corners and do certain shit. And
Yeah, like they do with me. They're still doing that stuff. At least it's not as heavy, though, right? I suppose. That's at least a slightly bright side.
it's just hard because, like, out here, there used to be like side jobs, labor work, stuff like that. Like, I found out I was pregnant, and nobody will, like, I don't know, nobody wants to hire a pregnant person. Yeah, maybe if I feel like I skipped the, oh my God, I'm pregnant, and went straight to that kind of showing. And it's just me, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it sucks. I might panhandle this, that, and the other. Well, then, you know, give me a job, give me work, give me something like that. Because the next option what would it be? You're hungry enough, you'll steal. You'll do whatever, you know?
People don't do bad
Like-
shit because they're evil. They do that shit because they're desperate. If you're hungry, you're hungry. You don't steal because you're an evil person. Most people don't want to steal out here.
Or, yeah, like you were looked down, yeah, so much, but if you weren't looked down, you would have, you know, had whatever 10 times over. That's just insane to me.
You know, it's one thing that's always bothered me since coming here, Oregon in general, is that a lot of people out here that are on drugs are honest about it. They're honest about their situations. And then I encounter the cops. I'm like, holy shit, the druggies are more honest than the cops. They're more direct than the cops. They fess up to shit almost immediately, the majority of them. Shit, you can't do that in Chapel, Nebraska. No meth head's going to admit to shit. And that's mostly what we have there. Here you got the blues, you got all these fentanyl addicts, you got the heroin addicts, you got the meth addicts. You know, Chapel, Nebraska, you basically got just the meth addicts. And everybody smokes pot just like everywhere else in America. It's just illegal there still. Sorry, I shouldn't have gone off on it.
No, you're fine. I just, my brain's trying to, I don't know, think, every day I think, how am I going to make a few, work or something, a few dollars. I do a good job, mostly. But today I feel like I have crazy brain.
Well, it's early in the morning, yeah. Although I'm not just going to blame it on that. Your situation's different than mine. Whatever it is keeping you locked up, it's different from the stuff that's got me locked up at the moment.
I feel locked outside of my body.
I just can't stop thinking about dead people and people I haven't seen in years. It sucks missing people. And then I go talk to complete total strangers about people they don't know and don't fucking care about. Oh, did I ever tell you about my friends you don't know?
I need to quit being embarrassed and just try to get a couple dollars for lighters or ask somebody.
I am the luckiest dude in the world because I literally, I'm not capable of getting embarrassed. I'm not. I can't. I've never been embarrassed.
Really?
I've been ashamed, but I've never felt embarrassed. I think that's a neurotypical thing.
It can go way easier, but it's like I know I'm not better than this, but better than circumstances that I put myself in. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Smarter,
ma'am.
not better. Smarter is a better word.
I blame my problems on 3 white guys, me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
Although realistically, that's not a good idea because I don't live on a planet of one. It's not like I live inside of a vacuum and every decision I make is my decision alone. When somebody out here decides they're going to assault you, it's not like you woke up and said, oh, I got a great idea in my little vacuum of the world. I'm going to imagine myself someone to come assault me. That would be a great idea. You choose it. I'm so sick of hearing that, and just about every other homeless person is too. You chose this. You chose this. Well, some of it, yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, what were the options? Was the other one any better? Because if I chose this, what was the other one?
Yeah. Or the people who have lots of options, that believe everybody has options. Like, why don't you just buy a car? Why don't you just go rent a place? Aren't you sick of being on the streets yet? Or the inferences of laziness. Oh my God, I saw her, she was begging. She was begging. But not doing the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash, the monster mash. You'll catch on in the flash. Oh my God, I can't be getting that song stuck in my head this early.
Gosh, you said that do you have a cigarette by chance?
I have 1 cigarette at my car. I also have rolling papers in case you find snipes.
No, save your 1 cigarette. If I find snakes, bring them over so we can roll one right now.
Well, I'm gonna walk my happy ass over. I'm gonna get that cigarette. I'm gonna smoke half of it and grab you some papers so you don't have to ask for them later. I'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. We're out here on the same shitty streets. Might as well treat people like people.
People are people, so why should it be that you and I should get along so awfully? My love, my darling, I'll serve for your chicken and gravy. All about that face, no trouble. All about that face, no trouble. Oh, cool. Oh, what's that other one? Oh, oh, yeah. Whoa, you better take me home tonight. Whoa, down beside that red firelight. Whoa, you better let it all hang out. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. Oh, yeah. Stormy does sneak into the store whenever she's able to. Depends on who's there. Getting kicked out of a place because somebody feels uncomfortable. Well, that does happen often. Some of it's dependent upon your behavior, but most of it's looks and gender. For a woman, it's usually more behavior-based. For a guy, it's usually more gender-based. The guy who's hanging around must be up to no good. Anyway, Emily Bates did bring up a good point that got me off on a tangent this morning. And that would be Janessa Ray Funkhauser. Now, I did think to myself of reposting the other day, but the thing that was going through my head is that I haven't heard anything, no missing persons, anything from here. But Emily Bates is right. You know, there's a lot of missing people. Right now, she's not the only one that's missing, but I don't know her. I do, however, know David and Katie Saltzman, and I've made a couple of trips up there to Portland to try to see them, to try to help find them. There's two Vancouvers, apparently. There's a Vancouver, Washington, and a Vancouver, Oregon. The last I heard, that was from Travis and Gabby, I believe. Janessa Ray Funkhauser was in the one here in Oregon. There's another friend of mine that I knew from Boulder, and she's not exactly missing. She's hiding out, but she's in Vancouver, Washington. At least that's where she was planning on going if things didn't end up well in Portland. She ended up getting human trafficked through Portland while I was on my way here. That's how I ended up getting stuck in Hood River. I went to go find a friend, and she wasn't there. Her name was Rebecca Gross-Nickel Folly, and it took about a month to find her. Fucking velociraptors. Someone calling themselves QR Azizbek put a bunch of little heart emoji thingies. Hello, welcome to my channel. A lot of the stuff about Natalie Bollinger, you might have noticed, the news didn't get correct. They tried claiming I was 42 when I was 36. They claimed I was 43 when I was 37. The news media doesn't care if they tell the truth. There's no consequences for them not telling the truth. They don't care about the lives that they destroy with their slander or with their anti-hobo rhetoric. Personally, there is one situation where I would absolutely arm every single homeless person I know. If they wanted to destroy every police station in America, or if they wanted to destroy every news station in America. The news doesn't give a fuck about us. They decide whether or not something is going to be popular before ever looking into it. If Will Chappell at the Tillamook Headlight Herald knew who I am, he'd be on this shit like flies on shit. But he doesn't realize how big a story Natalie Bollinger really is. Maybe you guys should call him up and let him know. Let him know he should probably do a story on Natalie Bollinger, especially since I'm in his town. I'm taking abuse by his people. He said he wants to do a story on the homeless. But he really does try to paint a picture that is not entirely true. But he also is a little different in the fact that he does try to make it more honest than any other that I run into, so far as I've seen. But he, like many others, it comes down to popularity. What does the American public want to hear? Now that's what he's going to sell them. That's what any one of these folks is going to sell them. Alright, so my phone died. Obviously I'm not hateful about it. It happens. As far as the abuse goes from the police here, if you're a homeless person, they're not going to investigate crimes against you. They're not even going to pretend to. They're going to send you around in fucking circles, and then they're going to lie to you about procedure, and when you follow the procedure that they tell you, they're going to tell you that you're wrong for doing it that way. It's just a fucking head game. As a homeless, disabled male, I don't have any rights. I will not be considered a human being in my lifetime. The reason for that is because as a homeless and disabled male, I have no rights unless a friend or family member gives a shit. And what did my friends and family member give a shit to do? Play head games, lie to me,
cheat me, steal from me, and of course misrepresent the situation in order to get free shit out of me. Well, that's pretty well fucked. That doesn't show them to be good people. It doesn't show them to be nice people. It shows them to be predatory. Although, it's predators like Andrew Wolnez that are the major issue. Nut jobs who think that bullying an innocent person will be their key to success and popularity. Well, fuck this goddamn country. Predators like that are the reason that Natalie Bollinger's dead. But not just predators like Andrew Wolnez. Don't get me wrong. He didn't have anything to do with Natalie's death. I'm gonna drive over by Stormy instead of walking over there because my phone's almost dead. I did grab my rolling papers so I can hook her up with some rolling papers. She spoke to us on here about more than one dead person that the police don't give a fuck about, and why would they? We're not people to them. These assholes get paid $100,000 a year for not doing jack shit. Someone calling himself Samuel Ramos typed something, but it doesn't show what he typed. Good morning, Samuel Ramos. Are you related to former Officer Abel Ramos of Boulder, Colorado? I've heard a couple of times that he died of cancer. The first time I found out, it turned out that he wasn't dead yet. The second time, the lady told me she was gonna try to get the death certificate because I told her I didn't believe her. I said he's been dead once already and turned out not to be dead, so. Alright. Looks like Stormy is still over there, so I'll relocate just to make sure that my phone charges up a little bit. Starting out to not be a shitty day, which is alright with me. Well, actually, it looks like they asked Stormy to move on. She's not there no more. She might have walked in the direction of the library. She also might have snuck into the store. Apparently, I took too long trying to charge up my telephone. Damn, these drivers here in Oregon are rude as fuck. Before you try blaming it on Californians, they were Oregon plates. No, she's not here. Alright, I'm gonna charge up my phone a little bit. And then I'll go ahead and make another missing persons post about Janessa Ray Funkhauser. I might watch another episode of Al Jazeera en Inglés. Let's see. Samuel Ramos typed, hope you're having a good day. If not, hope your day goes well. Yeah, me too. If y'all want to
try to contribute to my non-delinquency, I could sure use some Shell gas cards. I can still go to the Shell gas station here to get gas. So if you would like to send me something that could be potentially useful, you can send a Shell gas station card to P.O. Box 701, Tillamook, Oregon. Send it to Sean Schwartz. One of the things about my channel is that the majority of those who get on my channel are trolls and they're assholes. They're never going to speak up. What they're going to do is try to twist, warp, and manipulate everything that I say into something that it ain't. This is what shows my fellow countrymen to be the shittiest people on the face of the planet. It's never been about right and wrong. It's been about popularity. Money will make you popular. Looks will make you popular. Catching bad guys can make you popular. Well, I want the bad guys locked up, but I want the victims safe too. When a victim is in an area where they have friends and family, they're more likely to get help. When they're victimized every time they go to see their friends and family, it makes it difficult to get help. When their friends and family are their predators, it makes it even worse. I don't have historically good birthdays. 2015, I hurt my back on my birthday and couldn't work anymore. On my birthday in 2016, that's the last time I saw Natalie Bollinger. On my birthday in 2017, I got to spend it with people who treated me like shit. My birthday in 2018, I spent in jail because I was fucking lied to. Fuck this goddamn country and everyone in it. I'll say that again for everyone. Fuck this goddamn country and everyone in it. I didn't make this channel for your fucking entertainment. I made it so that people who aren't complete and total pieces of shit can actually fucking speak up. But who did that? Nobody. Nobody did that. And that's the pathetic thing about all of these platforms, as they're called. This social media platform doesn't give a holy fuck about our rights as Americans, as human beings. They straight up don't give a fuck. Algorithms decide the right and wrong of it. There's lots of dumbasses thought that they could bully me into shutting the fuck up, and to this day, it's not worked. You'd think eventually these dipshits would wisen the fuck up and stop being dipshits. Now, on the bright side, through all the people who have threatened to kill me and my friends and family, all of the repeated assaults, I've only threatened people back twice. Once at my grandma's funeral, a few months after Natalie's death, when Ted Bollinger and Natalie's twin sister Alicia Bollinger were fucking with me on the internet. Not that it fucking matters. See, this is all decided before court. It's decided before you're ever handed a slip of fucking paper. They decide the right and wrong of it. They decide the guilt and innocence of it. And no matter what, you're stuck with that unless you have a friend or family member who gives a shit to speak up. How many people have seen the assaults on here on my channel? Most of you. Samuel Ramos typed, "Happy B-Day, happy 43. I feel your pain, Sean. I feel your pain, Sean, but hope you find peace." And then message retractions. I don't retract my messages. I believe people should be true to their word. I do delete trolls from my channel. Be true to your word. If you make a mistake, that's all right. Admit to your mistake. It's more important to admit your mistake and learn from it than it is to hide from it. That's the difference between Catholics and evangelicals. I don't follow either religion. Catholic people believe that you have to, first of all, admit that you fucked up. That's called professing by mouth, or admitting that you fucked up. Pretty simple. And part two is making amends. Now, sometimes you can do that. Sometimes you can't. Let's say you got an argument, right? Let's say you get an argument with a guy, and you're so fucking pissed off. You run around and you say that he raped somebody or molested somebody, or say you're in a rural area where they really don't like homosexuals, so you spread a rumor that he wears girls' panties. So then, a bunch of guys beat him up, and he ends up in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. What do the evangelical people think that you should do in that situation? Ignore it, and hopefully, the day you die, you'll have all of your cognitive senses about you, and you'll be able to say, Jesus Christ, I accept you into my heart as my Lord and Savior. And wham! All of your sins are gone, and you magically go to heaven. Well, the Bible talks about that. Those are non-believers. Those are fakes. Those are people who use Jesus as an excuse to live a life of sin. Now, the Catholics, what do they believe? Entirely differently. You got that man beaten. First of all, you should admit that you fucked up. Right away. Hopefully, if you admit it right away, he won't get fucking beaten to death or beaten into a wheelchair. But once it's already happened and you're embarrassed, you don't want to go back. You don't want to admit anything. You get to see the consequences. And they're not your consequences, they're his. According to the Catholics, you're supposed to go to your preacher, your priest. You're supposed to admit your wrongdoings. And then you go around to all the people that you lied to about that man, and you tell them the truth. And then what do? Well, according to the Catholics, you're responsible for that man for the rest of his life. According to the old Hebrew religion, same thing. It's your fault he was harmed. As far as peace goes, no, there will be no peace unless you speak up. You. Obviously, when I speak up, it's on deaf ears. Obviously, when I speak up, it's just entertainment. It's something that people will listen to only to a point. Only to the point that they get bored with it. Soda caps. According to the video games, the plastic ones ain't worth shit. It's a good thing I realized that I live in the real world and not in a video game. How many of you realize that? You play Medal of Honor for 11 years straight, and all of a sudden every suggestion you have for every situation is to fucking shoot people. Look at how many people threatened to kill me and my friends and family. And look how I was treated when I tried to turn it in. Yeah, how I was treated is what made it such a desperate situation that I had to threaten people back. And yes, I did threaten them back. I threatened one person after my grandma's funeral. That'd be Ted Bollinger. Later on in August, I threatened a bunch of people, including President Donald Trump, or former President Donald Trump now. It was the only thing I could think of to force these pieces of shit to do their goddamn jobs, because all of my friends were fucking fakes. Still are. I don't have any friends now. On the bright side, at least I know who my friends are. Right? Now, there's a lot of nice people. There really are. But there's a difference between nice and good. Yesterday, when there was a situation with Mr. Wolnez again, Malcolm came out and rescued my ass. Told me if there was any problems to go inside. That way they have some recourse. There's also the other store manager lady. Her name is Sarah. And she's always busy. Like, she stays busy. I don't mean like stays busy so that she doesn't have people bothering her. I mean, she stays busy. Like, she's busy fucking working. She's busy doing what a manager needs to do. She doesn't go running around having to micromanage everything, thank goodness. But that usually comes down to good training and good staff. And good staff often only comes down to whether or not they like their fucking boss. If you've got a good boss, you could be a shitty fucking worker, but you're not going to be a shitty worker for that boss because you like your boss. If you like your boss, you can do a shitty job. I don't mean like do shitty quality work. I mean, you have a shitty job, literally a shitty job. If you've got a cool boss, you can be a fucking plumber and have to carry that goddamn sewer machine up and down people's fucking stairs so you can get it into the drain clean out. And you'll be happy to have the fucking job because your boss fucking rocks. But when you got a shitty boss, I'll give you an example of a shitty boss. I had a boss once named Stretch, David Roop. Now, he did carpentry, and although he's an idiot, he knows his shit when it comes to carpentry. Of course, he's also a stoner, and at the time he was fucked up on, well, he fell off of a 200-foot tall radio tower and fucked up his back, and they put him on opiates. He said getting off those opiates was the hardest thing and best thing he ever did. But working for him while he was fucked up on that shit was not easy. He'd forget one little thing that we needed at the job site, and he'd drive into town for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then he'd come back out, see where our progress was, remember he'd forgotten something, and leave for another hour or two. Mostly he was just wanting to get stoned. Meanwhile, he was insistent that I get stoned before work. And I told him, you don't want me to work stoned. I am a shitty fucking worker when I'm stoned. It's also not a good idea to work construction when you're fucking stoned, but Stretch just couldn't stay sober. So, of course, he wants me to put all the screws in the deck. And I did. After he got back from another 2-hour excursion of getting fucking stoned, he wanted to tell me, all right, well, finish up screwing in the deck. Well, then the first thing he did is kneel down in the only area. There's like 4 square feet where I need to put nails or put screws. All of the rest of it's already been done. You know, in his mind, I'd only done a third of the deck, and I was just standing there doing nothing. And that's not the reality. The reality is I had to wait for him to move his ass so I could put in the last, 11 screws, because it was right up against the corner. So you want to put 2 screws in at the end. What'd he do instead? Well, he squatted there, and I told him, well, that's the only spot that I got left to screw in. He ignored me. He was talking to Toby Smith. And then he looks up at me and he says, "Aren't you supposed to be working?" And I said to him again, "But I only got like 11 screws left and they're all where you're sitting." "Oh, well, go find something else to do." So I started picking up the chunks of tar paper because they were also doing the siding on the house. Throwing that away. Then he canned me at the end of the day for not finishing up putting all those screws in. You know what the fucked up thing is? When he went on his next 2-hour excursion to go get stoned, I finished that up. I also finished up the tar paper. I finished up nearly everything on the job site because Toby fucked up his back and needed to take a break. Now, did he bother to tell Stretch that he fucked up his back and needed to take a break and that I had done everything from then on by myself? No, he did not. That was the first and last day I ever worked for David Roop. At the end of the day, he told me he was docking me half a day's pay for fucking around half the day. He wasn't even there for over half the day. Out of an 11-hour work day, he was gone for at least 6 of them. Didn't know what was going on at the job site. He sideswiped some old lady on his way back to come see us. And then, of course, he wanted us to stop working long enough for him to tell us like a half-hour story of how he had sideswiped this sweet little old lady who didn't have any insurance. Well, surprise, surprise, David Roop didn't have any insurance at the time either. He was riding dirty. I don't mean just riding dirty illegally as in having marijuana in the vehicle and driving while fucked up on drugs. I also mean, of course, that his vehicle was not legal. There was no insurance on it. Now, it wasn't until many years later that he finally quit taking them goddamn opiates. He never did try making any amends. Never apologized. But hell, what do you expect? This is the United States of America. We've taught everybody, hey, you know what? As long as you don't take responsibility for your shit, you're fine. In a court of law, they want to ask you to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. But then they won't let you. If you have no money, you have no rights. That's why I'm willing to arm the homeless. That's why I'm willing to give homeless people the tools required to kill. That's right, literally to kill the people who are victimizing us. There isn't even a single homeless person in the United States that I don't believe should have the right to end the life of a police officer. There are no good cops. None. You will never meet a good cop. If you are a pretty white girl in a house, you might think all cops are good because you're stupid and you're spoiled. You get special treatment because of your vagina. You get special treatment because of your age, because of your looks. You get special treatment because you have a house which gives you rights. Channel Holly typed facts. F-A-C-T-S. Make sure I spell that out because I've been accused of saying things that I didn't because people don't understand that F-A-C-T-S is a word. That is a fact. Also, I have 0 teeth. Not a single teeth in my head. As a result, I sound more southern when I speak. That also brings me to a belief that I come up with a long time ago. See, it didn't used to be, when you'd read about stuff prior to the Civil War, they didn't really talk about Southern accents. My belief is that it was the Civil War that started that. You got every man between 16 and 60 in the military, and a lot of them ended up dead. A lot of them. So after the war, you got a lot of kids being raised by their grandparents who got no teeth. If you ever hear somebody with no teeth talking, we especially have to try to enunciate our R's. And if we don't make that effort to consciously roll our R's so that you can hear them, then we end up sounding way, way more Southern than we are. Michael Anthony type, good morning and happy birthday. Well, thank you, Mr. Michael. Hopefully people will speak up today. There's something called the Tillamook Headlight Herald, and it's the newspaper here. I'd like to ask you guys to do something today. You're not required to. I don't own you. You're not my property. But if you could, I'd like you to get a hold of the Tillamook Headlight Herald. The guy who's in charge of it, his name is, I want to say Matt Chappell, Chappell. So it's got 2 P's and 2 L's. Matter of fact, that's exactly how you spell Chapel, Nebraska. If you get a hold of him, let him know that I was on A&E, Murder in the 21st, Episode 1, Season 1, the situation with Natalie Bollinger. So Matt, he wanted to tell me that people in this town wouldn't care about Natalie Bollinger. Oh, there are people in town who care about Natalie Bollinger. I've had people threaten to kill me in this town because they saw stuff on the internet. Because they listen to Mike Boudet. Because they get into that whole true crime bullshit. If you listen to any of these true crime things, you'll notice that there's discrepancies between all of them. None of them can get the story straight. None of them tell the same story either. They just try to make me sound as horrible as I can with creepy music and creepy voices. The crazy stalker homeless guy was stalking some underage girl. Ooh. And he couldn't take no for an answer. Ooh. The reality is, she wasn't allowed to be my friend until she was an adult. The other thing is, the criteria for being a stalker, I don't qualify for. Then again, I wasn't allowed to go to court. I wasn't even notified that I had a court date. Not that anyone gives a shit. I reached out to my friends before Natalie was killed, and they all bullshit me. And of course they wanted things. Oh, Sean, I'll help if you bring cigarettes, if you bring cigarettes, if you bring cigarettes. Did they care about me? Did Kayla Trujillo give a shit about me, or did she want cigarettes? After Natalie's death, one of my predators was a guy named Blaine McCrelius. He also happens to be Kayla Trujillo's drug dealer. Blaine McCrelius gets his drugs from who? Ted Bollinger. Jesus fucking Christ. What a goddamn pain in the ass that is. Todd Ryan Case also got his drugs from Ted Bollinger. Imagine my fucking surprise. These are both people who, well, one of them was going to help me before Natalie died and after, but ended up just bullshitting me. The other one, Todd Ryan Case, well, he pulled all of his fuck ups in the situation after Natalie was dead. Happy birthday to me. I look like a monkey. I smell like Dookie. And I've got to pee. Or, I know that it's not Michael Scott Wade's birthday today, but I'm going to sing a song just because I like the guy, even though he's a dumbass piece of shit. I like my stepdad more than my real dad. I like my stepmom more than my real mom. So, who is Michael Scott Wade's favorite cartoon character? Garfield. Lasagna. And what's the best birthday song ever written? Happy birthday, whoop-de-doo, whoop-de-doo. Open up your presents, see what's few, see what's few. Fuck, it's getting cold in here. My phone was up to 22%, so... Oh, well, that's something unexpected. Actually, no, it's not. A Palestinian American was stabbed to death, and the Jewish community is in an uproar about it. All right, so we got someone calling themselves Queen Missy, typing stuff like, stop swearing. Fuck off! I'll be goddamned if I'm going to do any such thing. When I talk nicely, you don't hear me. You want to come on here and start giving orders? That seems like a womanly thing to do. Queen Missy XOXO type, are you Jewish? No, I'm a Russian, German, and Hebrew descent. Queen Missy type, no THX. Well, I don't give a fuck. You do what you want. Now we got this guy calling himself Jackson George. What do we do with these people? This guy wants to type gay. You gay. What do? Hide user on this channel. God damn, the dumb motherfucker is gone already. Holy shit. Oh, he already started a new profile. Cute. Remove. That was pretty goddamn easy. Queen Missy XOXO type free Palestine. Palestine is free. I'll tell you what I'm going to do here with Queen Missy XOXO. Hide user on this channel. I'm not going to deal with trolls. My channel is an autocratic dictatorship. You want to come on here and be a fucking cunt rag? Well, I don't want your nasty cunt stains all over my channel, so I just get rid of them. Pretty goddamn easy. Jesus fucking Christ, some of these goddamn fuck nuggets, and they're stupid shit. Jesus fucking Christ, Sean, you should watch your goddamn mouth. Can't, my nose is in the way. Anyway, it's my 43rd birthday. I have historically shitty birthdays. My birthday in 2019, Alicia Bollinger disappeared for the third time since her sister died. And for the third time since her sister had to deal with nut jobs, threatening me and harassing me, threatening to kill my friends, threatening to kill my family. Alicia Bollinger is a world-class piece of shit, and she deserves every bit of shitty fucking attention that she gets. On the bright side, at least I speak up, which is more than I can say for the rest of these twits. We live in a fucked up world. A very fucked up world. And the thing that makes it so fucked up is people's fucking complacency and their constant need for fucking attention. Their constant need to be fucking entertained. It's disgusting. As far as Palestine goes, until the Palestinians stop calling for the complete genocide of the Jewish people, hell no, I'm not on their side. Not gonna fucking happen. Someone calling himself Andy Boulder typed a bunch of little shit stains. On the bright side, they're cute little pink shit stains. Very cool, Andy. Thank you for sharing. I didn't even know that emoji existed. But I don't fuck around with the emojis. That's not really a guy thing to do. I know guys who do the whole typing in emoji things, and literally all of them are gay. No, I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying it as a fact. F-A-C-T. Alright. Well, I guess I should walk over to the Safeway. I'm in extreme fucking pain right now, but god damn it, I ain't dead yet, am I? In between now and then, I'm gonna try to find the thing about Janessa Ray Funkhauser and post her stuff up again, along with some of the information that I've gathered. Travis and Gabby said that as far as they're aware, is in Vancouver. So she relocated since she was last seen in Burnside. And I say the same thing to Janessa Ray Funkhauser on my channel as I said to Natalie Bollinger. Call your fucking mom!